podcast, and I'm very excited to talk to my next saying this, but he may truly be the most exciting fighter, not just in the PFL, but in all of MMA. Currently running a 6-fight win streak. The champion is here, Sadibou Sy. Sir, how are you?
Man, I was good before this introduction, and now I'm amazing.
Listen. It goes downhill from here. After that, it's just regular questions. So I try to make the introduction as best as I can. But man, let's get right into it. 6-fight win streak. Things are going according to plan for you. You know, thus far in your career right now. How do you feel about where you're at in your career?
Yeah, I feel great. I feel great, to be honest. I feel like I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I believe I'm growing. I believe I'm evolving, and I believe you can see that in the way I'm fighting. You can see the confidence. You can see I'm getting more relaxed, more loose, and I'm letting myself like come forward and showcase myself more so than I allowed myself before. So I feel great, and I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it.
Well, I think the craziest thing, like, obviously you say anyone's coming in on a 6-fight win streak, you're like, wow, that's great, right? But yours have gone decision, split decision. But in 2023, you're like, no more decisions. It's all finishes. So what was, I could ask you the technical part of it, right? But I'm not a technical journalist. Like, I'm not somebody who's in there training every day. So you could tell me until you're face. I'm not going to know everything you're talking about. And I try to have interviews where the fans can connect with you. So there had to be a moment, right? Whether it's talking to coaches or at your house or reflection where you were like, I'm done with these decisions. Let's go finish them. When was that moment and what was it like for you?
To be honest, last season was like me needed to find a way to get back to just winning and getting my hand raised. All right. As long as I did that, I was happy. I was like, I need to make sure that the holes that I have in my game, I have to cover those holes, right? And I believe I did that. Now I don't feel like I have any holes. I just feel like, okay, I can now go back to the mindset that I had before. More like explosive, more taking a little bit more risks, more like not thinking so much about like dangerous position, because I feel comfortable. Like if I were to get taken down, I'll get up. If I get tired, no, I'll recover. Like all of that. So that allowed me to be more free and allow my striking to come back. And then just having fun with it, man. Just having fun with it, to like go out and have fun. It's a blessing for me to be able to do what I do, and never forget that. And as soon as I start having fun, that's when the opponent should be like, "Yo, time out, how about?"
I was gonna say, so I guess for the rest of the future, everyone should be like time out, right? Because you sound like you're having fun. You sound like you're at peace. You sound like, listen, not to compare any fighter to another fighter, but it sounds very similar to when Jorge Masvidal in the UFC had his rise. He had said, like, I was going through decisions and I just realized I had to start ending these dudes. I had to baptize individuals. And then we saw, the BMF belt was created, all that, but that's neither here or there. But I find beauty in what you just said, because I think oftentimes some fighters will just say, I'm okay, I got the decision. I'm okay, it went my way. And finding that peace to let yourself go. Do you feel you're the best you've ever been in your career right now?
I do feel that way, to be honest. I believe I'm in a amazing spot where my physical and mental are like merging together very well. It took a minute, but like everything happens for a reason. So I had to go through what I went through to be able to get to where I am right now, right? So at the moment, I don't see it as like my next opponent. I'm like, I don't take him lightly just because I won that fight before, but I don't take it as like looking at that fight and being like, yeah, I'm just gonna try to squeeze out a unanimous decision. It's not like getting my hand raised is number one. It's always gonna be, but right now I'm looking to create moments. I'm looking to build on my legacy, and I want to have a nice collection when I'm done.
You mean you want to add to the brutal walk-off wheel kick you landed earlier this year? What
Yes,
was
sir.
that? I mean, obviously you're happy you get the win, right? But you win in that fashion. Take
Yeah.
me through immediately after that. Like, what is that like for you? Are you like looking at social media going, damn, I did that? Are you like, I knew I could do that? What was that like?
To be honest, it was a little bit of like a surreal moment because I visualized that for weeks before. Weeks. I didn't even throw it as much in practice. I just visualized it a lot. And so when I finally got it, I was like, oh man, finally I start to like to feel secure enough and feel relaxed enough to start showing myself first and foremost, but also now all the fans and the other guys in the division what I can do, you know. It was a lot of emotions, but I was very happy just because I felt it. I felt it building up. I was like, man, I'm gonna do something brutal.
Yeah, well, that you did do something brutal.
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because I was trying to see where I could fit this question in. It's not really a question you just throw out there, but I was going to throw it out there. The Swedish Denzel Washington. Is that just because you're a badass? Is that because you want to be in movies one day? Is it both? Like, where did you come up with that, man?
All right. So long story short, it's a good question. Long story short, I did 2 movies in Vietnam, right? One of my closest friends, he lives in Vietnam. I did 2 movies with him. So for the first movie that I was in, I went to Vietnam 2016. I went to the movie premiere, right? Did the red carpet and all of that. So finally, 2018, when I met up with the PFL team and the NBC, because PFL was on NBC first year. I met up with the team, and they asked me about the movies, and I was like, yeah, it was amazing, and seeing myself, it was very nice, but it wasn't no Denzel, like, and everyone started laughing, right? So move forward like a couple of months, my first fight comes, and the Swedish Denzel, and I was like, the Swedish what? I had no idea. So they just ran with it, and after that, I became the Swedish Denzel, I guess.
I mean, listen, if Training Day 2 ever comes out, I think you'd be a good fit. You start wheel kicking people in that movie. I'm all in, man. Move over, John Wick.
Hey, to be honest,
give me Sadibou all day long.
They actually asked me if I could just before the finals last year in November, if I was able to fly out to Italy because they were recording what's the number 3 what's the movie from the Equalizer? They were recording the Equalizer, but I had the finals 2 weeks after, so I was like, okay, it's impossible, man. So it was unfortunate.
So is that in your future after fighting? Is movies the way you want to go in your future?
Well, let's see what the future holds. But I really like those things. So I would definitely, that's definitely something that I would love to do. But for me, it cannot just be like half-hearted. It has to be something that I actually put my heart into and like start taking lessons and see, like, if I'm gonna do something, I want to do it. I want to do it good. Basically.
That's beautiful, man. And obviously, being a champion, you go from the hunter to the hunted, and obviously a little bit more pressure coming into 2023. But when you look back at where you are now, if you look back to your journey and your upbringing and your family and all of that, has it ever set in like, man, I went in, I did it, I became a world-class champion, and now here I am in 2023, and everyone wants a piece of the champ? And has it hit home for you yet?
To be honest, I believe it did, and that's also why you see the mindset that I have right now, because like I'm not seeing myself as a defending champion because I don't have nothing defensive in my mindset at the moment. Everyone can be chasing me, but I'm chasing myself. Day after the fight, I was like, how can I top the last one? What can I do next fight to top that? I'm chasing myself. So it doesn't matter what the other guys do. I focus on myself and I'm focused on becoming the best Sadibou.
That's a scary proposition for your opponents. Your next opponent, you'll be taking him on later in August the 23rd.
Yeah.
What should we expect from you in that fight?
So we faced each other in the semifinals last year as well.
Yep.
And I believe that his style and my style are like they go together very well for an exciting fight because he comes forward, he doesn't take a step back. With that being said, he's a very tough guy. He's on a good win streak as well. And to be honest, he's the type of guy that you need to beat. He's not gonna go in there and beat himself. With all that being said, I believe the size, the speed, the like the technical aspect, the smarts. Like I believe that I have everything to win this fight very convincingly and very like make it look very, very, very not easy, but like I believe I'm gonna be able to showcase myself in this fight very good because we saw it was a close fight last time we fought. So we're gonna be able to see who has been doing their homework best.
Well, that makes for a very exciting fight. You and Carlos Leo at PFL Playoffs on August 23rd. Sadibou, before I get you out of here, just a couple more questions, and I appreciate you. You know, there's a big rumor going around your promotion right now, and that obviously being the potential addition of Bellator or the merging of Bellator and the PFL. I'm curious, and I've asked everyone this. If that were to happen, would you like to see maybe the tournament be 4 or 5 months and then have events throughout the year? Would you like it to become more of a promotion where there's events all throughout the year and no tournament? How would you like that merger to go?
Oh wow, that's a great question, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I haven't given it a thought. Like, there's a lot of amazing things with the PFL format, but there's also a lot of tough things with the PFL format, right? Because fight 4 times in 7 months, something like that. So I believe I've grown so much because of the format, but I also would like to have some time in between fights to be able to work on work on tools and work on getting better, because now when you're in camp, it's hard to like go through and like start working on new things. You work on mostly I do at least on what I'm gonna do during the fight and make sure I'm in the peak shape, you know. So
Yeah,
I don't know,
I get
man.
it. It's camp after camp after camp for you currently, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
completely understand that. I'll add something else on the PFL side, and that's the addition of 2 very big names. One being Jake Paul, the other being Francis Ngannou. I know Francis came in. I know he's got the Tyson Fury fight, but if you look at the roster through and through, PFL has added some former big names from other promotions like the UFC. They're bringing in a guy like Jake Paul. They're bringing in a guy like Francis Ngannou. Those 2 are vocal and adamant about fighter benefit, the quality of life for fighters. When you see those guys come into your sport, your promotion, how excited does it make you?
Man, to be honest, like the sport is growing, and for me, I'm just happy to be part of the sport and to be part of this evolution. You know, we see more things, and all of this that's happening right now is giving us fighters more power, if that's something that you can say, right? So to be honest, I'm very, very happy, and I'm looking forward to hopefully fighting on the same card as those guys. Yeah, so the future is bright for PFL, I believe.
And I would have to agree with you there. Just 2 quick ones. Number one, if you go in and do exactly what you expect to do at the end of this year, is the tournament another thing you want to come back and do in 2024? Do you want to look into bigger fights? What would your future be if you're the 2-time PFL champ?
When I'm the 2-time PFL champ.
When? Sorry, Denzel. I want no problems.
Yes. 3 sounds better than 2.
I like it. Easy enough. I love that answer. What should we expect from you on August 23rd?
I'm getting my hand raised. I'm working my ass off. I really do. Like, I'm obsessed here, and it's so much fun. So I'm getting my hand raised, and just like I like. The thing is, when I fight, if depending on how the fight is going, I get like into certain spots where like, oh, that's a dangerous spot. I'm not just gonna go in there just because it's exciting. No, I'm not gonna do like it's still a tournament and I'm still gonna get my hand raised. But with that being said, I believe that there's a lot of different things that I'll explore during the fight, and I'm always gonna try to make it exciting. But the first and foremost is getting the hand raise and getting the victory always.
Well, you definitely have a knockout of the year candidate on your resume this year. I'd love to see you
Yeah.
take that award home. I'd love to see you take another, or I will love to see you take another one. I'm not going to say if you do. I'm going to say when you do take home another PFL world title. Sadibou, I'm not just saying this because you're here and you're across from me and you could probably kick my ass through the screen, but you are one of my favorite fighters, not just in the PFL, but in all of MMA. You've been a blast to talk to. I'm happy we got to talk for the first time, and I hope we get to talk more in the future. You're a hell of an interview. You're fun, charismatic, and you're one of the very best fighters in the world, and I appreciate your time.
Hey, thank you for having me on, and thank you for the kind words. Like I said, my day was going amazing before, and now it's even better if that's possible. So I appreciate you.
I could say the same thing. You talk to a world champion, it means a lot. And like I said, I hope to have you on in the future.
Let's do it. Let's set it up.
Thank you, man.
All right, my man. Take care now.